In this video, I'm going to discuss about something called CSS transforms. If I go to our page, so this is what it looks like right now. Let's try something. So CSS transforms are properties that you can give to your elements that change how they look in a certain way, but from not from a layout or positioning point of view, but their angles or like their skewing and all of those, right? For instance, let's see if we do a rotate. All right, uh, rotate X, or if we go to the documentation, we'll just go to the documentation. So rotate X. So yeah, you have to give a transform property. So that says transform rotate X by 90 degrees. All right, so if I go here, nothing happens. 90 degrees, let's change it to this 90 degrees. Yeah, so it's not visible. That's because of our grid styling. So yeah, sorry, I got a call. So if I do this, most likely because of our CSS styling here, let's do one thing. Let's, for the sake of simplicity, we'll just take out all of this. Don't need this. We'll take away all of this as well. We'll take away all of this as well. Right, container, I don't want a grid right now. Let's say, for the sake of simplicity, we'll just keep it to div class square, right? And in our square, we want our background color to be blue. We want width to be 100 px, width to be 200 px, height to be 100 px, and we'll take out all of this too, and we'll paste this transform, so yeah, to here, and I'll save this. So 90 degrees won't work because 90 degrees rotate of a square is basically another square. We'll try to rotate it by 45 degrees. So rotate X 45 degrees is not working. What if I give it a 200 px width? Oh yeah, so if it rotates it by 45 degrees, this is what happens. If I rotate it by 50 degrees, what happens? So I'm not very sure how it's working. Rotate X defines a transformation that rotates an element around the X-axis. Okay, so on the X-axis, it's rotating it without deforming it. Okay. Okay, rotate X is just doing this. What if I do a rotate Y? So something like rotate Y. Along the y-axis. If I go here, yeah, so on the y-axis it's rotating now. Okay, so it's not a if you do a rotate z, what happens? Okay, rotate z is your regular rotation technically. So okay, let me explain. So if you look at this, this is a y-axis, this is a x-axis, and I would assume a z-axis looks like this, right? So if my square is placed here, right? So let's say my square is placed here, or let's say here, for example, right? So what it does is, it will, if I put a x, rotate x, it is rotating it on this axis, right? So it's like flipping a paper as you are facing it towards up or down, and it's like horizontally you're trying to flip it, right? But if I'm doing it by y-axis, it is turning it from let's say right to left or left to right. That's how it is rotating it, right? If it's a z-axis, it's like rotating the paper uh, like a clockwise or anti-clockwise motion, right? So that's why in rotating z, you are seeing a regular rotation, right? So that's how it is. Let's say if I am doing something else, let's say I am doing a skew x, right? If I do a skew x, it's a skewing in the sense of flattening and then shifting it from a baseline, right? So skewing is more like, imagine this is your square, it's like skewing it in this direction, right? Or this direction, right? Or let's say if you are doing a z-axis, it's probably like towards you or away from you, right? So yeah, slightly complicated stuff in terms of what they mean, but I think with enough playing you can get an idea. I don't see a use case really, other than the fact maybe let's say I have a screen like this, and let's say I have an image here, and for some reason I want the image to come down and appear like this, right? Can we try that actually? Let's say for example, let's try this. This will be fun. So let's say I have a div class experiment, all right, and I am going to put an image src slash, and let's find a phone image, phone image gif, sorry, not gif, I want a png image. This looks like a nice png. Copy image address, I'll put this image address here, and now we'll style it. Let's say dot container is a width of 100 view width. I want it to cover the entire width. Height to be, let's say, 80 view width, view height. Alright. Now I want our dot experiment to be having a margin, alright, margin left auto. I'll just do that. Now if I go here, I don't see anything because I need to save this. So this is what it is looking like. This is what it is looking like. We'll give this a background of, let's say, FFF. Sorry, no, I want a 000. All right. So this is what it is. This is not a proper GIF. Can I get a proper GIF? Copy image address. It's too big and also doesn't has still a background. Uh, can I just get the PNG of this? Oh God. So I have created a new image actually. Sorry, I paused the video and I made sure that I had an image. So I'll just take this, I'll rename it. We'll call it phone.png, and in our image src I'll just use this phone.png. I'm going to give our image some width, let's say 500 px, and some height of uh, let's say 1000 px. Let's go see, it flattens it. uh, Instead of px, let's use percentages. I want 80% height and I want 70% width. Still something is off. Let's not give it height, let's try to reduce it. Let's say I want 500 px width only. Okay, 500 px is still a lot. Let's say 100 px. Too small. 250. Okay. Still a PNG image, right? Sorry, so I had not saved it. So I saved it now. I've just created this. Okay, I need it to be a little bigger. Let's say 300 px. Still a little bigger. Let's say 500 only. I was using the wrong file. I was using the old file. Oh yeah. Now it looks quite alright. What if just to make sure that we have align content center, doesn't work. Align items center. I'm not sure if that's the right one. Align flex items. Okay, this is not for uh, let's do this. Let's say display flex align items and center. Doesn't work. Why? Aligns flex items along the cross axis. No, I want to justify content center. Yeah, now it works. Right. Let's say I increase the size to, let's say, 700 px. Yeah, now this is a image that we have, right? What we ideally want that this particular image moves a little down, all right, and looks kind of 3D. So let's say we give it a transform and we say translate y. And what does translate y do? Two-dimensional transformation is applied to an element through transform property. This property contains a list of transform functions similar to the, okay, never mind. So if I want translate y by, let's say, 300 px, right? So it shifts it down. I don't want a background color, for example. Let's say, yeah. So let's say we reduce it by a lot, let's say 100. Yeah, let's say 150. So as you can see, now it appears like it's, hovering, right? So this is the kind of stuff that you can do with um, your transform properties, and you can move this to the side or to the left, and then you can write your text here and this will look quite good. So yeah, that's something that we'll try out in our projects. So that's CSS transform for you, and this is the kind of stuff that you can do.